What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I wanted to talk about some Destiny 2 new stuff about the Curse of Osiris expansion. So we've got information about some new raid content coming in the game, a new level cap which we'll be getting as well, talk about some of the other content like strikes and everything like that, but also we have even more returning exotics, things like Graviton Forfeit for the Hunter, which is going to be interesting, so let's break it down in this video. Of course, Curse of Osiris will be launching on December the 5th for all platforms, so that's cool, there won't be any delays for PC, and we get a new kind of description for the expansion here from Activision. So Curse of Osiris adds a new character to the world of Destiny 2, expanding the universe by adding in all new cinematic story with new and returning characters, a new destination to explore, Mercury and its infinite forest, a new social space at the Lighthouse, as well as new missions, new strikes, new raid content, free roam activities, and a world quest to complete. So obviously we know that the expansion will introduce Mercury and the Infinite Forest. We will be seeing the Lighthouse as an actual social space for this expansion. We will be getting new strikes inside of the DLC, which is of course good to hear. New raid content is very interesting. As far as what this could actually be, there are a couple of possibilities. We're either looking at an update to the Leviathan raid, so perhaps, you know, some new encounters, or perhaps even a kind of story twist, you know, perhaps the Vex end up on the Leviathan or something crazy like that. You may have noticed though, inside of the Curse of Osiris trailer, we actually see Osiris himself inside of the Vault of Glass, so the fact that he's in that location is obviously very, very telling. It's a huge tease there from Bungie inside of the trailer, so it seems like content that will actually be substantial to this expansion. Another thing to note in the background, you will see some Guardians almost frozen in time. You can see this Hunter firing at a bunch of Vex, and this is in no way confirmed, but how cool would it be if, you know, Vault of Glass actually came back and we had to travel through time to communicate with the original VOG raid team, or even to try and save them and pull them back through time or something like that. Those characters like Kabar or Kabir, however you say that, all of the Guardians that were in the original Vault of Glass raid, that doesn't confirm that VOG will actually return. I personally would be really happy to see that though, kind of revamped and with a new reason to go there. It's also possible though that this could simply be story content, which would also be pretty cool. But the wording there, new raid content, kind of confirms that there won't be a brand new raid inside of the DLC, but we could be looking at an update for the existing raid or a returning raid from Destiny 1 in the form of the Vault of Glass, which would just be really cool. Either way, it's good that there will be relevant raid content in this update. Next, Deej gave a few words on the PlayStation blog. So he said that Curse of Osiris sends you back to the stars to solve a new mystery. The Vex are on the march, and our only hope to stop them may lie with Osiris, the notorious heretic and the most powerful warlock in the history of the Last City. On your quest to find him, you'll meet new characters, explore new places, tackle new challenges, and earn some sweet loot. But at Paris Games Week, they are demoing one of the new Crucible maps for this expansion. It's actually the PlayStation exclusive map. So of course, PlayStation exclusives, we expected to see them inside of the DLCs as well, but inside of this Crucible gameplay, we also get confirmation that there will be a level cap increase in this expansion, so we can actually see Guardians running around between levels 22 and 25. And this isn't the power level, this is the base character level, so it looks like there will actually be a base character level increase of at least 5 points. Interestingly, in the database, there is a version of the Leviathan raid, which is actually a level 30 version of the Leviathan, so perhaps this will be for the base level increase in the expansion. On top of this though, we can of course expect to see a power increase as well. We saw some of the gear inside of the strategy guide for Destiny 2 showing as 350 power, so perhaps 350 will be the actual new power level. You've probably seen some of the returning exotics coming in this DLC. One which nobody has really pointed out would be the Graviton Forfeit for the Hunter right here. So this is very obviously the same helmet. Of course, this granted Shade Step back in Destiny 1, so perhaps it's going to do something for the Hunter's class ability, perhaps increase it, or maybe even give you both different abilities at the same time or something. That could be pretty crazy. Also, something to note about this Warlock is they're actually wearing a helmet which looks nearly identical to the Celestial Nighthawk on the front. Then you can see these kind of tubes or pipes on the back of it, and they go ahead and pop the Dawnblade right there immediately. So it looks like there could be a new iteration of this helm for the Warlock. But throughout this gameplay, we see a whole bunch of new armor and weapons. One to point out would be the sword that this Hunter's wielding. So it looks a little bit like the Traitor's Fate. It's a similar kind of shape, but you'll see the blade is a little little bit different there, and it also has some of the ornamentation that we've seen on the other themed weapons for this expansion. There is also a new exotic emote, a selfie emote that you can see the Warlock doing right here, which is pretty cool, also with that awesome Vex gear. But I've got some HD images right here of a bunch of the different gear in this expansion, so you can see the Warlock with this Vex themed armor, and they're also wielding a pulse rifle with the new kind of theme. Again, you see those kind of tubes and kind of wires across the surface of the weapon. Here we see the Warlock once again, but we also see a Titan with some really cool themed Vex gear. On top of this, they also have a linear fusion rifle with this kind of black skin, and then we have the Hunter also with the linear fusion and this really cool kind of helmet with the triangle in the middle, and then another Hunter holding the Osiris themed hand cannon. Again, looks really cool, and I believe that will be some of the season 2 faction gear that they're wearing as well. We see the Hunter once again, and then the Warlock, this time holding a pulse rifle, I believe it is, and now we have a Titan with yet again Osiris themed armor, I'm pretty sure, but it's actually different armor to the Vex armor that we just took a look at, so it looks like there are multiple different armor sets. That could mean that some of it will be coming from the new raid content, and once again we get a look at the Titan wielding the pulse rifle, and then finally from this screenshot right here we can see that same Titan armor that we saw in the first clip. But we also have some key art for Mercury right here, so we've got this really cool Vex architecture, absolutely some of my favorite stuff in the game, and then this view across the surface of Mercury. You can see the sun in the background, and it's really cool because you can also spot the almighty ship there. We do have this image of what appears to be the lighthouse once again, this time in a kind of destroyed state, and then we have more of the kind of garden world version of Mercury right here. So it looks like there are kind of different states for Mercury. There's the infinite forest kind of area, or I'm assuming that that's what this is, and then the area that's kind of baked by the sun, and it looks like kind of alternate dimensions and Vex realms will be how all of this stuff is working. We get another one on the surface of Mercury with this really awesome kind of pyramid structure there, and some more shots here of what could possibly be strike content coming in the game, certainly some new PvE content on the explorable locations. So there we go guys, Curse of Osiris is looking really cool. The new explorable spaces are looking pretty substantial as well. I think in terms of the gear and the new content, that stuff is going to be really exciting. Of course, we have some additional things that we want to see adjusted in the game, and hopefully the fact that this content is already existing means that Bungie have time to kind of, you know, improve some of the end game aspects and things like that. Either way, it is incredibly exciting. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know down below any thoughts on this stuff, what you're most excited for. Also, a like is very much appreciated. If you've enjoyed the video, it really helps me out on the channel. Be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see a lot more Destiny 2 content as well. But for now, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you very soon.